Welcome back to another episode from Tailors with Love. I'm Pete Brooker. Today I'm with my good friend Matt Spaiser, editor of bondsuits.com. How are you doing today, Matt?
Hey, Pete, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Matt, well, first podcast of the new year where I've got you on. I got to speak to you. And I thought today we'd have a look at maybe ranking some of the Daniel Craig films, in terms of taste and what you think and which ones you enjoy, but also I want to have a look at what films out of the Craig series do you think has the best fit, has maybe influenced your personal style? Which one do you think is the most accessible to the general public in terms of what they can buy from the films? And which one you'd put on for Christmas Day? So maybe we'll start from the top. Which Daniel Craig film do you feel like Daniel Craig looks the best in wearing his clothes?
So I think, it's a tough call between Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. But I think Quantum of Solace probably gets the edge that I think, and I think I'm mostly going to say that because of the trousers. The trousers in Casino Royale, while they do fit, the legs are kind of wide by what we're used to today. They don't look quite trim enough for me. I think they kind of swing around a bit, sort of like Roger Moore's trousers do at times. And Quantum of Solace, the legs, they're not too skinny, but they're trim. They kind of have that, they kind of recall the Connery look.
Right.
Even though they don't have pleats. But I think I think Quantum has the best fit. The jackets fit cleanly. There's not too much shoulder padding. It looks very natural on Daniel Craig.
I think the problem Bond has during the years, and that this is any Bond, that if you walk away from a helicopter, that wind is just going to make everything look blowy and bellowy, isn't it? And when Craig lands in the Bahamas in Casino Royale, now we can look back on it and go, bloody hell, his suit's taking off. Whereas, don't see any of that in any of the other films.
Right, yeah, because there is a bit of fullness in that gray suit in Bahamas. But I do like, speaking about helicopters and blowing, I do like the Fear Eyes Only look at the beginning. When Roger's Doug Hayward suit. Now the trousers, they do have a bit of fullness at the bottom, in the lower half of the leg. It's a very straight leg. But for some reason you don't really see much blowing around with him. I mean, not even his hair is blowing with all that hairspray.
Oh, hair's immaculate. I've been to that field as well where he gets into the helicopter.
I love that.
We found the field.
But, so back to Craig though.
Sure,
I guess the Quantum fit, everything looks very clean. All of the cardigan. I think the cardigan fits him so well. And I think that's an important one. Now I do prefer the polo shirt fit in Casino Royale to the Quantum fit. The Quantum fit, the shirt is a bit fuller. It's a straighter fit. It does kind of swings around his waist a bit, when he's fighting. So Casino Royale, I think the Sunspell polo wins over the Tom Ford polo in Quantum. But I think I'd say both films have some pretty good fits overall.
With you on that. How about influence, Matt? Because I know you're not necessarily a huge fan of the Daniel Craig Bond style. I think that might be fair to say. But has any of the films influenced your style where you thought, "Ooh, actually, I probably could wear a Henley or a duster jacket on my way to work"?
Yeah, I've definitely been influenced by them. Probably the most direct influence in the past few years for me would be the Sunspell polos from Casino Royale. I was always a big fan of navy polos, going back to the Thunderball Fred Perry polo. Like that, seeing that polo on Bond as a kid influenced me to wear navy polos. And now Daniel Craig kind of updated it with Casino Royale. Lindy Hemming brought in Sunspell. I think just one of the best things that from the Daniel Craig Bond films.
Yeah.
So I'd say that definitely has been an influence. But other things I also have influenced me. I think like I love the blue suit Inspector, the blue sharkskin suit Inspector. Not for the fit, but just for the idea of a blue sharkskin suit. And I got a blue sharkskin suit from an Anthony Sinclair suit from Mason and Sons. partially because of that, but also because of some of the other blue suits in the Bond series. But just seeing that blue suit and seeing that, when I saw that suit in person in the Tom Ford store, the color blew me away. Just it looks so much different in person than it does in the film, and I think that actually did have an influence on me. That had an impact when I saw that suit.
Interesting. I think maybe also the idea that it could be somewhere in your subconscious as well. Like it's not front of mind for you to go for a blue sharkskin suit, but because you've had that, you've seen it on Bond, it's kind of registered. It's hit you somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on you go, oh, actually, I do now have an affinity with sharks.
Yeah, well, because Bond with the gray sharkskin suit, that goes back to Connery just wearing like the gray sharks. He's had various gray semi-solid suits. He had like a straight up dark gray sharkskin in Commercial with Love, and seeing those, Daniel Craig then had the gray sharkskin in Skyfall.
Yeah, that's the one where he's leaning on the Aston Martin in the photos as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I had a gray sharkskin suit before Skyfall, so I can't say that influenced me to get a gray sharkskin suit.
I affirmed it.
I already had one because of Connery.
Okay.
Because of the Commercial with Love suit, but I don't know. I would say that overall, I don't know. It's hard to really pick one that had the most influence on me, but I'd probably go with Casino Royale.
Nice. I do like going back to sharkskin. Your analogy. I can't remember if it's in the book or on your blog. Probably both. Mm-hmm. The how you describe the weave as tiny little steps going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're kind of confused at what kind of weave that is on a suit, maybe you're up against a dude in the train and you're inspecting him. You know what herringbone is, you know what bird's eye is, but the sharkskin's slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, sharkskin is hard to see, from a distance. That you can't see those steps until you're up close to it.
Right.
And you can also have other semi-solids that look similar to that, like Connery had some just black and white semi-solids that didn't have the steps. But they overall have a similar look to them.
Well, that's influence done and done. What about accessibility, Matt? Now, what Craig film would you say has the most wearable garments?
Actually, wait, Pete, before we get to this, which one was the most influential to you?
Well, I was thinking that Spectre could be the most influential, even though I don't think I've got a single thing from Spectre. But it was at the time where I really started getting into the clothes of Bond. I'd been into like the locations of Bond, I think, before the clothes. And I've been obviously watching Bond films all my life. But when I started paying closer attention to the clothes was when Spectre was coming out. And then you had the explosion of social media and Instagram. So it was a lot easier for me to kind of rifle through and research. I was working in a fashion shop as well at the time. So Spectre really had like this huge, powerful impact on me. That was the most influential film for Bond and clothes. But personal style, I've got to say it's No Time to Die, because I've found the most pieces that are the most wearable. I wear the garage jacket, the RGT jacket to death. I've got an affinity for Henleys. I mean, I'm wearing one now. You might not see this on the podcast. I'm wearing a rag and bone Henley. I picked it out because it was rag and bone. So I've now gone down that road. I've got the military sweater from No Time to Die, from NPO, I should say. And boy, I mean, it's cold as balls in the UK 9 months of the year, and that thing gets a lot of miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think No Time to Die for me is the most influential in terms of personal style.
Yeah, I think that's great, because that Bond can still have an influence on people, and you've been a Bond fan for such a long time, yet now it's the latest one that's influencing your style. Whereas for me, it's the ones that I saw many, many years ago that have had the most influence on my style.
The Craig, though, I would say the Craig film is No Time to Die, the most influential one. I'd still probably say.
Oh, you saw the other ones.
I'd still say Roger.
Live and Let Die, probably.
Live and Let Die is still the most influential, yeah.
But yeah, Yeah, the Craig ones. It's for me, it's just still hard to. From I mean, I get influenced by small things here and there in the Craig films, but overall, none of them had a big impact on my style.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh yeah.
accessibility. Do you want to cover that? Which ones do you? I mean, I've got an idea of what probably is the most accessible film. I mean, what do you think?
Um, I do think that No Time to Die had a lot of accessible pieces in it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, there are accessible pieces in the last three of Daniel Craig's films,
Yeah.
but I think in this last one, that the outfit that he wears in Jamaica with the Tommy Bahama shirt, the Sperry's, that like there's nothing more accessible in Bond style ever, I think, than that outfit. That outfit is just from these mainstream American brands. It's like when I go visit my parents in Florida, that's how everyone dresses.
Hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money you have down there. The rich people wear those clothes. The poor people wear those clothes.
Oh,
It's it's just that outfit is just something that I'm used to seeing, like that. Just those brands, they're just everywhere, and to me that's just so accessible.
I remember I've told this story 1,000 times. I can't remember if I told it into a hot mic or not, but when we were interviewing Nick Brook from Sunspell, the CEO of Sunspell, I broke the news to him that that shirt was by Tommy Bahamas that we see in the No Time to Die pictures. And his reaction, and I quote, were, "Oh, fuck off." He was not amused.
Yeah, I mean that. Um, yeah, and I think that even with the Rag and Bone is a fairly accessible brand. It's not like Tom Ford.
Mhm.
So we see some Rag and Bone in No Time to Die. We have, um, and I'd say even like for suits, they have the Massimo Alba corduroy suit,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that is, I mean, is that Bond's most accessible suit of the series?
Yeah. Gotta be. Well,
I think
I mean,
I
we talked about how like Janie Tamim really made everything very accessible for Bond during Skyfall. I mean,
some
the
things.
Barber, the M Peel jumper. I mean, these were things that all of a sudden people can go out and buy for themselves, and they didn't
That's
have to
true.
break the bank to get them. The John Smedley, the Bobby jumper. So there was like a couple of things that
Yeah.
were going around at the
But,
time that
there's accessible in that you can buy it. There's also the
yeah,
accessible whereas can you afford it? Whereas the John Smedley, you can go out and buy it, but most people can't afford that. I've never spent that much money on a piece of knitwear myself.
that's true.
But I mean, it's also better than any piece of knitwear I've ever
Yes, I mean,
owned.
but it's still there. It's there. If you wanted it, it was there. I just felt like before
It is,
then,
yeah,
it was a lot harder to get hold of.
that is true. That is true.
Okay, Matt, we've got to probably wrap a little bit up. We're going to just touch on the Willie Bogner news that was announced yesterday as well. But before we get to that, what one of the Craig films would you put on Christmas? You got the whole family round, you've got Jana's family, your family. Everyone's going to watch a Bond film. It's got to be a Craig. Which one are you sliding on?
Oh man, so that's a difficult question. I don't know. They're not easy films to put on for just for fun.
What did Jana
But
make of No Time to Die, by the way? I'm curious.
oh, she hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
But we're gonna do it soon.
Right. Okay.
But
We'll.
yeah, it's you know what I would put on Quantum of Solace because it's over the soonest. It's the easiest one. It's the least commitment you have to make.
Right. Okay.
It's the only one under 2 hours. So
Mm.
it's the one you're most likely going to finish.
Yeah, you could have a nap through that, wake up, and then someone can go, "Well, what else is on?" And the film's already done. You know.
Yeah,
So, all right, that's a good one. The least pain that people are subjected to is quantum resonance in the
I think
space
that
household.
I think it'll go over the word the easiest. The just putting on the shortest of the five.
Less of all evils. Let's touch quickly upon the Willie Bogner news. So, Willie Bogner
Yeah.
um, announced, along with the 007 channels, that they're going to be releasing a capsule collection in the fall of this year. So Matt, just give us a very brief thumbnail sketch of Willy Bogner and their involvement already in the Bond franchise.
Yeah, so I mean, well, Willy Bogner was the skier, cameraman, and then he founded, the Bogner skiwear company, which features in, I believe, 4 Bond films. They're in On Majesty's Secret Service, The Spy Who Loved Me, For Your Eyes Only, and A View to a Kill. Mm-hmm. They've made probably Bond's most iconic skiwear. There isn't much skiwear in the Bond films apart from Willy Bogner's brand. Apart from Bogner, there is the ski jacket and The World's Not Enough. But other than that, the rest are all Bogner. And you can always tell Bogner when you see that the pull on the zip, it has the B, that big letter B on it. And what's always amusing to me is that you can see it on all the skiwear. You can see it on Bond, and you can see it on the villains. They all got their skiwear at the same shop.
And
they should have just
BB Girl's got it on the belt, hasn't it, as well? She's got it on.
Oh yeah. I think it's cool that they're finally doing an official collaboration with Bond, with, having some official 007 clothes. So they said they're gonna look back to some of the old looks and recreate some things. I hope. I kind of want to. I'm sure they're gonna do the yellow For Your Eyes Only. Yeah. Sorry, the Spy Loved Me ski suit, because that one is just so iconic.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing someone on the slopes wearing that?
Yeah.
But do you ski, Pete?
No, I went snowboarding once. It was a write-off. My mate tried to get me into skiing and snowboarding throughout my entire life. And then one year I just went, fuck it, let's go and do it. Went down the slopes once, fell over, wasn't interested. I spent the rest of the week in the hotel just getting pissed. It was some things you just know you're not going to like, and then you give them a go, and that just confirms things for you. And I don't really get it, if I'm honest. I think it's something, if you grow up with it, if you always holiday and you always ski, or if you live in the parts of the world where skiing is just like going for a walk in a park, then fine. But for people that just want to go all the way out there and just ski, be in the cold, and then possibly kill themselves, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've never skied either, so but I could see you in that yellow ski suit.
Oh, that's all me.
I could see you in that one. Whereas I love the look of the blue parka in Your Eyes Only.
Ah, yes, yeah, that does look.
That one I think is my favorite of all Bond ski wear. I think it looks just the blue. It looks elegant. It doesn't, it's interesting. It's a nice color, but it doesn't look too flashy. So I think that's a great piece. That's the easiest one to wear.
Yeah.
Although the white one in A View to a Kill is also quite nice.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's the one that went up for auction a few years back on Prop Store. The pre-titles,
I think so.
Sequence.
Yeah, the pre-titles ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, maybe on the hanger, like they pictured it in Prop Store, it just looks really. Pretty ugly. I mean, the huge patch pockets on the breast, and it's kind of just a little bit all over the place. There's no elegance to it. I mean, it looks good on Roger, but just as a standalone garment, there's nothing to look at.
Yeah, I mean that one. So that one looks a bit flashier, I think, just because being white in the fur hood as well. Whereas I think the blue one in For Your Eyes Only is just the best one. Now, I wonder if they're gonna try to replicate some of the Bond ones, as well as maybe some of the villains, or maybe they'll do BB's ski suit.
No, I hope so.
I think there's something for everyone. I think Blofeld in On Majesty's Secret Service wore some fantastic ski wear.
Great show.
So, and Bogner just did all of it. There's just so much Bogner history.
And the sunglasses as well. So like you think of the A View to a Kill sunglasses.
Yeah.
They did those. I hope they do
experiences.
Right. So maybe they can just look, if you don't ski, maybe you might want Sue Varner following you around saying, I need you. You're just popping out to work. She just happens to be on the street. Matt, I need you. It'd be like one of those things you pay for on Cameo.
Yeah, I mean, I could just maybe I'll just get those ski goggles just for when we have a blizzard and just want to go out and walk around and
How
I'll be
many
able to see.
blizzards do you have in New York?
We get them about once a year.
Okay.
So we get blizzards in New York. So we'll get a meter of snow in one day at sometimes.
Actually, I've seen
not very often, but sometimes. But I don't know. I think, but I think that with the For Eyes Only parka, you don't have to ski to wear that.
Mm.
You can, and I'd say the same with the View to a Kill one. I think you can just wear these for a very cold day.
Mm.
You don't have to be a skier. You can just wear it if you want.
He also, Willie Bogner did a film, Fire, Ice and Dynamite. That was one he did direct. Now, I don't know if I'm being overly negative on this show. I'm sorry if I am, but that film is fucking unwatchable. I went to see it at Moorfest. Have you seen Fire, Ice and Dynamite, Matt?
It's one of the few Roger Moore films I have never seen.
Oh, you'd be lucky, man. No, it's close to unwatchable as any film is that I've ever seen, and I think I made my excuses and got up after half an hour and walked out. Just couldn't sit through that. Couldn't sit through. There's not that much of Roger in it, to be fair.
Yeah.
So if you're going for a bit of getting your Rog fix, you won't get it through that. And anyway, Matt, we better crack on. Days to get on with. Bondsuits.com, place to go. And I would, if you haven't been there recently, do check out Matt's site. He's now doing all the No Time to Die outfits, but with a lot more scrutiny. Now that you got the film at home, you can see it, and you can really take more deeper dives into the clothes and the fabrics and the fits and everything else. So do head over there. And from tailorswithlove.co.uk for some show notes and for all the other links to the YouTube. Matt and I have just reviewed the Frank Foster shirt from Live and Let Die as well. The other one, the black short sleeve one that you can catch. So lots of places and lots of things to do. In the meantime, speak to you later, Matt.